check our smartphones every 15 minutes or less, less on average. That is good for advertisers who spent an estimated $31 billion on social media in 2016. For last night's 60 Minutes, Anderson Cooper got a rare insider's look at how Silicon Valley gets users glued to their phones. He spoke with former Google product manager Tristan Harris, who owned a software company before spending 4 years at the tech giant. Harris quit and now advocates for better use of smart devices.
It absolutely wants one thing, which is your attention.
Now he travels the country trying to convince programmers and anyone else who will listen that the business model of tech companies needs to change. He wants products designed to make the best use of our time, not just grab our attention.
Do you think parents understand the complexities of what their kids are dealing with when they're dealing with their phones, dealing with apps and social media?
No, and I think this is really important because there's a narrative that, oh, I guess they're just doing this like we used to gossip on the phone. But what this misses is that your telephone in the 1970s didn't have 1,000 engineers on the other side of the telephone who were redesigning it to work with other telephones and then updating the way your telephone worked every day to be more and more persuasive. That was not true in the 1970s.
How many Silicon Valley insiders are there speaking out like you are?
Not that many.
Tristan Harris is with us now. Good morning, Tristan.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you call this thing a slot machine.
Slot machine in our
What
pockets.
does that mean?
Well, it operates on a variable schedule reward. So sometimes you check your phone and you're playing a slot machine, and if you get a message from the person you love or an email to show up on the CBS Morning show, it feels really good. And then sometimes you check your phone and there's nothing there. And the fact that sometimes you get something and sometimes you don't is what makes it just like a slot machine.
Mm-hmm. And why is that necessarily bad, and what are companies doing wrong here?
Well, it's not that that's necessarily bad. I mean, we just have to feel, is that what you want your phone to feel like? Mm-hmm. Do you want your phone to feel like a slot machine? The main narrative to correct is that we have this belief that technology is neutral, and it's always just up to us to choose what we post on Facebook or how we use Snapchat or what we use our phone for. What this misses is that there's this attention economy where every company needs to maximize how much attention it gets from you. And there's a whole playbook of techniques to do that. And a slot machine is one thing you can sprinkle on a product as a way of getting people to use it more.
You provided some specific examples last night about how a company might do this attention economy. What's a good example?
I think one that's more alarming is Snap Streaks that Snapchat recently went public, because it's affecting kids' feelings of obligation to each other. What they do is if you send a message to someone and they send a message back, you do that several days in a row, they create a streak. They show a fireball and a number of the number of days you've gone in a row. And a lot of kids have 150, 200, 300 streaks. And it stresses kids out because they feel like if I don't get back to my friend, they're going to be upset at me and I have to do it. And so you have kids waking up and they've got to go through and send photos of walls and ceilings and doors just to get through their day. And you have to ask, is this being done to help kids live their lives?
So what would you do about it?
Well, we have to change the incentives, because right now the incentives are to maximize time spent. If you tried to tell Facebook or Snapchat, don't do that, or this is not what we want, they can't, because someone else will just swoop in and get the attention. So we have to have a conversation about this attention economy, which is like the city. And we say, how do we reorganize the city? Let's not move out of the city. Let's not just unplug. I mean, that's one solution. Yeah. But really, we're going to have something in our pocket. Let's make it work for us.
The reason I asked that, 60 Minutes contacted several of the biggest tech firms, and no one would speak on the record.
Yeah.
But people like you who've had experience there know what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the elephant in the room. It's not so much that this is a whistleblower type thing. I just think that this conversation needs to happen, especially because in news, it's affecting our democracy.
Because it's happened at the same time as the rise of fake news.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have two news feeds and one news feed is showing you stuff that's outrageous, that just has unbelievable stuff, and you have to share it, and you have to, can you believe that they said, if Facebook shows you that news feed, it's going to be better at getting your attention than one in which they show you some calm news about the same important topics, but the calm way. So they have to show you the one that is more outrageous.
Sensationalism versus real news.
So I think fake sensationalism is more important than fake news.
Wow.
Tristan, so great to have you here and for starting this conversation. It was a great piece last night and today as well. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.